back to the special Wednesday edition of Winning Workouts as we have a look at the $3 million Singapore Airlines International Cup of 2013, and what a lineup it is, with multiple Group 1 winners at their last start taking their place here. And down the bottom, Better Life, the pride of Singapore, she is, and she's going to take on a star-studded lineup. No footage, it would seem, of Meandre today, but we have Military Attack, of course, the QE2 Cup winner from last start. And, well, he's going for 4 in a row, and this would be a big scalp if he could pick up an international Group 1.
Yeah, 4 in a row. Super form from Hong Kong too. That the QE2 Cup was a cracking run. Zach Burton jumped off him. The race jockey jumped off him that start to ride something else, and Tommy Berry, the new gun from Australia, jumped on board and raced him and won on him in Hong Kong. But very, very, very good form.
He's got a bit of versatility as well. He can go forward, but he can hold a spot in midfield if he needs to. And he probably, out of him and Dan Excel, probably looks the better over the 2,000 metres, so it would seem. Moving on here. Who have we got here?
German horse, Pastorius.
Oh, this is Pastorius. Well, he's another Group 1 winner from last start.
Super form. The pride of, you talking about the pride of Hong Kong, this is the pride of the pride of Germany. Craig says some very down-to-earth owners too, which is great, and trainer, and just enjoying the ride. This horse will, I think he'll come in for support, Matty, and all accounts he's travelled very well.
Yes, well, he is a terrific horse. Prix-Garnet winner last time, and of course the Deutsches Derby winner last season.
Okay, Pastorius, how did he travel over?
He travelled really well over. He only lost 3 kilo, and we were very impressed because he travelled for the first time, and he set it down lovely. He feels really well, he eats well, temperature is good, he feels good in the work, and we're really happy and looking forward to the race now.
Obviously the effort just a few weeks ago in the Prix-Garnet was very strong. Have you had to do much work since you've arrived in Singapore?
No, because he's very fit, you know, and we have been very impressed with the way he won in Longchamp. And he's a horse what doesn't need much work, you know, and my trainer wants him just to keep fresh. So that's why we had the last 2 days a slow canter, just take him around like the way he wants to go. Today we went a bit longer, a bit quicker, but just I say, just live the way he wants to go. You know, on Friday we want to go a little work. On Saturday we give him a walk around, keep him fresh, and then we're looking forward to the race. And hope it goes well.
His win in France was very fresh. He hadn't run since Ascot. This race is a little closer to the Longchamp race. Is that going to suit your horse, or is that a negative, or is anything?
No, I don't think it's going to be a problem for him, you know. And like I said, he didn't lost much, you know. After the race in Longchamp, he lost 10 kilo. He put the weight back on. We flew over here. He lost 3 kilo, and I think he put the weight back on again. So he's really well, you know.
What will be his pattern of racing here in Singapore, do you think? Obviously a lot tighter circuit than Longchamp. Do you expect him to be midfield or getting back, or where do you expect in the run?
I think we're going to run a bit closer, you know, want to get handy maybe in second or third position. What will suit him is that we get a good pace, you know. We didn't expect a good pace in France. That's why we put a pacemaker in the race to make sure it's going to be a good pace. We're going to have a pace here, and then he will be handy in second or third position, hopefully.
And so far we haven't had a lot of rain this week, so the track will be good to firm. Is that suitable?
Yeah, I think he has no ground problems at all. He can handle soft ground, but he also runs well on good ground. You know, it's no problem for him.
Now Red Cadeau, much travelled horse, travels more than you, Larry. Last 6 starts have been in the UK, Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, Dubai, and Japan again.
Probably travels better than me too.
Well,
Matty,
you get a seat.
He does travel well. Obviously, beaten less than a nose, the barest of margins in the Melbourne couple of years ago. Since then, Ed Dunlop's just taken him on the world tour, and he's gone from everywhere. 2 runs in Japan, Hong Kong, Dubai. That's second in the Dubai World Cup. That's the form I'm going to follow, Matty. I'll probably make him my tip on Sunday, but I think he's just a terrific horse.
Yes, he's had a run over 2 miles in Japan since then. Terrific horse, as you say, fairly keen on his work during the week.
Widely travelled horse, Red Cadeau, and widely travelled groom as well. Robin, how's he travelled to Singapore this time?
Well, he came from Japan last Thursday. The trip 7 hours, that's a breeze for him. You know, he's used to going to Australia, so yeah, it was no problem at all.
Obviously, he ran enormous in the Dubai World Cup and then in the tennis show. How's he going leading into this race on Sunday?
Just as well. You know, there's no problems with him at all. He came out of both World Cup and the Tenor Show very well. He's had plenty of time between races. He's back on song.
Obviously, he's got an iron constitution, this horse. He just turns up everywhere and runs big races everywhere.
Yeah, he's fabulous. He's great to deal with. Let's hope he can do another one here. There's no reason why he can't. He seems in great nick, so fingers crossed.
He won the Vase up in Hong Kong, going back to December now. He's back to 2,000 metres for this race. How does that suit him?
Well, if you'd asked me that straight after the Hong Kong Vase, I'd have been a little bit worried. But watching him run such a brilliant race in Dubai over the same trip, this horse has got plenty of speed. If you look at his fractions in Japan, they're unbelievable. The horse is by Caddo. The speed's there. If you look at his third page of his pedigree, he's full of Guineas winners in there. He's got a fabulous pedigree. I think, you know, he's got the speed, so that doesn't really worry me now.
Has he been freshened up this week in Singapore?
Well, after the Tenor Show, you know, he's very fit. We did pretty light work in Japan. We just started to put him under a little bit more intensive work, and he'll do a little bit of work tomorrow. It won't be anything record-breaking, but he'll just do a bit more tomorrow, and that's hopefully enough just to put him spot on for Sunday evening.
What's the confidence level going in? Obviously, you've got a proven international group horse here.
Definitely so. You know, it's a proper race. The German horse looks very good. I think he's going to be the one to beat. Meandra's not far behind us. He looks very well. There's some good horses in the race. You know, we've got to run up to our best, and we'll run our race.
Is a barrier draw important for him?
I think so. I've watched the race over the number of years. We've watched it on DVDs, and I really think we don't want to be really above 7 or 8.
It's Robin Trevor Jones, assistant trainer to Ed Dunlop. As we move on to Dan Excel, I made mention in Military Attack. I thought he maybe was the stronger over a mile and a quarter of the two John Moore runners. It took a while to get his win in Hong Kong, but he got it at Group 1 level in the Champions Mile last time.
And booked him a trip here, basically, Matty. I think if he comes second in that race, he probably doesn't come. So the fact that he won that race and straight on the plane to here, his winning form's good form.
Good to have a Godolphin back in Singapore. Richard, how's Hunter's Light settled in?
Very well, very well. It travelled over fine, and we came very early. We came on the 1st of May, and he has been fine since.
Coming so early, obviously escaping the heat of Dubai at this time of the year, but has that been a positive, do you think?
Very much so, because that gave us extra time earlier on for the horse to settle in, where we had a relatively easy week. The first week I was here, and then we stepped up his work accordingly, and he's doing fine.
His efforts on the all-weather in Dubai this season have been outstanding. How's he going to handle the turf?
He ran on turf in Europe. He's a group winner in England. He won on soft ground in Rome, Group 1. Obviously, in Dubai, he excelled, but no problem for him. Soft or turf or all-weather, no problem.
Where do you envisage him in the run? Will he be forward, or will he be back?
I think here there doesn't seem to be too much pace, so probably it'll be handy, but Saeed will discuss that with Silvestre, so we'll leave it to them.
Is there much more to do with him between now and Sunday?
No, he had this last bit of work yesterday, worked well. He seems fine this morning, and that's it, only ticking over until Sunday.
Obviously, you guys have had very good horses over a long period of time. How do you rate Hunter's Light? Is he at the top echelon of the stayers?
Well, at the moment, I think he's still improving. He's obviously a Group 1 winner. Hopefully, there is more to come.
Okay, so Mawingo going through those paces from the chute there, getting its barrier certificate, Larry.
Well, it's an odd horse because it's under the international quarantine because it's just come from Australia. It's a group winner from Australia, but it's staying with the Michael Friedman stable after this race, so it has to pass, because it's running as a local horse, it has to officially pass a barrier trial or two, and it's doing that here this morning, Matty. So after the trial, just a little bit of a jog.
If he wasn't racing under the banner of Michael Friedman, he wouldn't need to go.
He wouldn't have to do the barrier trial. So that's
what happens if he had failed it?
He would have done it again and again
and
again
on
Saturday.
Well, here's Mawingo. Heard a bit of talk about this horse recently, and they say he likes to be kept fresh. Certainly early on in his campaign, this year, when resuming, he ran terrifically well fresh when second to All Too Hard in the CF4 Stakes at Caulfield.
He's a nice horse. He's probably just not up to the the top horses in Australia. So I think he'll suit Singapore when he stays. Certainly be a horse to follow in October, November, later in the year with the Raffles Cup, Cranji Mile, and also the Gold Cup.
We've spoken about Pistorius winning the German Derby as a 3-year-old. When this horse was 3, and that was a year before, he ran in the German Derby and he ran 4th. This horse, Mawingo, he started his career over there in Germany and finds himself in Singapore with an employment pass here. Now, Mull of Killock, he's the next one we're going to have a look at. Not too much to report as far as exciting track gallops go, but interesting with this horse, he's had his last 5 of his last 6 runs have been at Newmarket, and he's had 4 wins and a second at Newmarket. Also interesting, this horse, the trainer, obviously Jane Chappell-Hyam, came here last year with the Sprinter. Was it Secret Asset? Yep.
They called it Elvis, was its track name. I think she loved the place, and she's decided to come back, and it's got a nice horse to do it. So I think she was probably very happy to get a horse of this calibre to jump on the plane. The only blue, it's only won $392,000 Sing prize money. So is it up to this level yet, Matty?
How much? 392,000.
It's not a lot.
Well, its best form is recently. I think it's fair to say it's really found its form with a couple of Group 3 wins. Here's Little Boy Flax. Is he where he was this time last year? I'm not entirely sure.
Spoke to Jose this morning.
Yep.
He said he is, but on his last run he said he was a bit flat, but they've kept him fresh. Expect improvement, but that was a huge run last year.
Okay, Lazar, he's getting a strong gallop here for Vorster.
South African bred by Jetmaster for our South African viewers. There's a couple of South African breds going around in Flax as well.
Is there a couple South African viewers?
There's more than that. There's more than that. It's a very popular show down that way.
Well, hello.
Deep Pockets will be coming home late, but probably outclassed. We'll keep it. He'll pick up could pick up a check, Matty.
Well,
when things fall away.
What he will do is he won't be involved in any pressure stuff, and he'll pick them off late on. Now, how many he's going to pick off, I don't know.
This one could be one of the ones he picks off, ready to strike.
Well, he'll be up
handy.
there. He'll race handy, and there's a bit of talk that there's not too much speed, but I reckon if you look at it, this horse Flax, I think Dan XL, Military Attack could be up there. Might be one or two others.
There'll be speed. It'll be a solid speed. Sorry.
And this mare, she'll benefit from it. Here she is sitting a half length off Keep Away, and she was probably the star work of the day.
She's a terrific horse, and a lot of locals are waiting to see how she's up to this level. I think she could be.
Thanks, Larry. That's it for Winning Workouts.